Today we will discuss another environmental issue which is very similar to climate change, that is global warming. So global warming, as you can see on the screen, it is nothing but a climate change. It refers to the long term warming of planet due to an increase in average global temperatures. This warming is primarily caused by the increasing levels of greenhouse gases in the earth's atmosphere, which trap heat from the sun and prevent it from being released back into the space. So global warming is basically the main villains behind global warming is greenhouse gases. Only because of these greenhouse gases, the heat that is generated, that is produced, it doesn't go back into the space because of these greenhouse gases. And we all know that methane, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, these are chlorofluorocarbon, these are the greenhouse gases. They deplete the ozone layer, and because of that, the ultraviolet rays of sun directly enter the earth space, and they can keep on warming or keep on increasing the temperature of this planet. And because of that, those greenhouse gases, the heat that has to be released back into the space, it gets trapped, and once it gets trapped, ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग इन्क्रीजेस. ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग आणि क्लायमेट चेंज हे जवळपास सारखेच आहेत, परंतु ग्रीन हाऊस गॅसेसमुळे काय होतं माहिती आहे का, जी काही हीट जनरेट होते ती हीट परत स्पेसमध्ये जात नाही, ती इथेच प्लॅनेटवरच राहते, आणि त्याच्यामुळे आपलं प्लॅनेट हे तापतंय. त्याचं जे टेम्परेचर आहे, जे तापमान आहे, ते दिवसेंदिवस वाढतं आहे, आणि त्याच्यामुळे क्लायमेट चेंज होत आहे. सो क्लायमेट चेंजचे जे काही इफेक्ट्स आहेत, ज्या क्लायमेट चेंजच्या ज्या काही रिझन्स आहेत, त्या सेम तुम्हाला ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंगमध्ये अप्लाय करायला मिळतील. So, कोणते reasons आहेत? What are the causes of global warming? As I said, global warming and climate change, they are similar to each other, and that's why the similar kind of reasons you can see as far as climate change is concerned and global warming is concerned. क्लायमेट चेंज आणि ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग सेम असल्या कारणाने त्यांच्या ज्या रिझन्स आहेत क्लायमेट चेंजच्या आणि ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंगच्या, त्या सेमच आहेत. पहिलं ग्रीन हाऊस गॅसेस, जसं कार्बन डायऑक्साईड, मिथेन, नायट्रस ऑक्साईड, देन फ्ल्युओरिनेटेड गॅसेस, हे सर्व असे काही गॅसेस आहेत की ज्यांच्यामुळे पूर्ण ही ट्रॅप होते, ज्यांच्यामुळे ओझोन लेअर डेप्लीट होतो. ओझोन लेअर डेप्लीट झाल्या कारणाने डायरेक्ट सनरेज जे असतात, अल्ट्राव्हायलेट सनरेज, ते आपल्या धर्तीवर येत असतात, आणि त्यामुळे ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग वाढते, क्लायमेट चेंज होता, आणि त्याचे परिणाम आपल्याला भोगावे लागतात. दुसरं आहे डिफॉरेस्टेशन अँड लँड यूज चेंजेस. डिफॉरेस्टेशन म्हणजे काय, दिसलं झाड के कापायचं, म्हणजेच काय, पूर्ण झाड आपण कापून काढतो, त्याच्यामुळे जे कार्बन डायऑक्साईड आणि जे काही पॉयझनस गॅसेस जे ॲब्झॉर्ब करून घेत असतात वनस्पती आणि झाडे, तेच आपण जर कापून टाकले तर ते जे पॉयझनस गॅसेस आहेत ते वातावरणात तसेच राहणार, आणि त्यामुळे ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग होणार, क्लायमेट चेंज होणार, आणि शेवटी त्याचे जे परिणाम आहेत ते आपल्यालाच भोगावे लागणार आहे. दॅट्स वाय डिफॉरेस्टेशन इज वन ऑफ द villainous reasons of global warming. Land use changes. We cut the vegetation and we do agriculture, we build houses, we establish our industries on that particular piece of land, and because of that, so many greenhouse gases are released. Because of that, whatever greenhouse gases that are created and released in the atmosphere, they are not absorbed because we have already cut the trees which are very much functional in terms of absorbing these greenhouse gases, आणि म्हणून ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग होत आहे. सेकंड वन इज इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोसेसेस. वॉट एव्हर इंडस्ट्रियल मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग takes place, the byproduct is obviously greenhouse gases. The metals, and these metals and greenhouse gases, they get mixed in soil, they get mixed in water, they get mixed in air, and by default, directly or indirectly, they affect the temperature. The production of cement, steel, and other industrial processes release large amount of greenhouse gases, and because of these greenhouse gases, as I said, the ozone layer gets depleted, and by default, the planet temperature increases. देन वन ॲग्रिकल्चर, खेती, आपण जी शेती करतो त्याच्याने सुद्धा ग्रीन हाऊस गॅसेस हे रिलीज होत असतात. जसं की द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ मीट, एस्पेशली बीफ अँड अदर ॲनिमल प्रोडक्ट्स, लीड्स टू रिलीज ऑफ मिथेन अँड नायट्रस ऑक्साईड. सो मिथेन अँड नायट्रस ऑक्साईड, they are released only because of this agriculture. Like we produce meat, we keep cows, we keep buffaloes, we keep then cows, and we keep swines, and because of that, because of the dung that is created, and once it is decomposed, by default the methane gas is released, the nitrous oxide is released, and these are two villains of greenhouse gases, and they deplete the ozone layer, and ultimately global warming takes place. So agriculture is one of the reasons of global warming. The next one is effects of global warming. Rising global temperature. 1 degree Celsius it has increased globally. The planet temperature has increased by 1 degree Celsius since 1800, and that's why we are facing the problem, the climate change and all. We know that if climate change, the seasonal cycle changes, and because of that, during the winter season we experience rain, during summer season we experience heat wave, during your rainy season we experience drought, and this is happening only because of global warming and climate change, thanks to the rise in the temperature. Sea level rise, because all the glaciers, all the frozen ice that gets melted, and because of that, obviously the water level of sea increases, and because of that, the people who stay on the banks of this ocean and sea, they get affected. Extreme weather events. Global warming is linked to an increase in extreme weather events such as heat waves, droughts, and heavy rainfall. कधी कधी असं होतं की खूप वादळी पाऊस पडतो, कधी कधी पूर्ण दुष्काळ पडतो, कधी कधी इतकी उष्णता होते की आपल्याला टॉलरेट नाही होत. आणि या गोष्टीमुळे काय होतं, ऑब्व्हियसली ह्युमन लाईफ गेट डिस्टर्ब, गेट डॅमेज, खूप सारे लोक मरतात, खूप सारा प्रॉपर्टीचा लॉस होतो, पैशांचा लॉस होतो. चेंजेस इन प्रेसिपिटेशन पॅटर्न, जसं मी सांगितलं की पाऊस पडायला पाहिजे त्यावेळेस पाऊस पडत नाही, ज्यावेळेस पाऊस पडायला नको त्यावेळेस पाऊस पडतो, अँड दॅट इज हाऊ इट इज अफेक्टिंग द फूड, द क्रॉप दॅट वी प्रोड्यूस, अँड दॅट इज हाऊ इट इज अफेक्टिंग food pattern also. And if this continues, the day will come we will have no water, we will have no food to eat. Loss of biodiversity. Because of global warming, what happens, the flora and fauna, means animals and vegetation of a particular place, they get affected, they get destroyed, and only because of that the food chain is completely disturbed, and once the food chain is disturbed, everybody is disturbed, and we humans are also part and parcel of that food chain. So if other animals, other vegetables, other trees or vegetation, if they are disturbed only because of this global warming, obviously we are getting affected by it, and of course we see the consequences of it. Water scarcity. Global warming is leading to changes in water availability, with some areas experiencing more frequent and severe droughts. दुष्काळ पडत आहे पुष्कळ ठिकाणी, आणि तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की पाणी ही आपली एक गरज आहे, आणि पाणी जर का मिळालं नाही तर 2 किंवा 3 दिवसामध्ये आपण मरणार आहोत. आणि बिकॉज ऑफ दिस ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग व्हॉट हॅपन्स इज दॅट देर इज नो रेन. इफ देर इज नो रेन, देर इज कम्प्लीट ड्रॉट. वेअर विल यू गेट द पोर्टेबल वॉटर फ्रॉम? अशी कोणतीही मशीन तयार झालेली नाही आहे अजून की हवेतनं पाणी तयार करायचं. ऑफकोर्स इट इज पॉसिबल, बट इट इज नॉट दॅट इझी, अँड इट इज हायली एक्सपेन्सिव्ह, विच द डेव्हलपिंग कंट्री लाईक इंडिया कॅन नॉट अफोर्ड. पुढचं आहे फूड इनसेक्युरिटी. ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग इज अफेक्टिंग ॲग्रिकल्चर प्रोडक्टिव्हिटी, लिडिंग टू फूड इनसेक्युरिटी अँड इकॉनॉमिक लॉसेस. ऑब्व्हियसली शेतकऱ्यांनी आता काहीतरी पेरलेलं असतं, त्याला पाऊसच पडत नाही, त्याला पाऊस नाही पडल्या कारणानं ते पीक वाया जातं, किंवा काहीतरी पेरलेलं असतं त्यावेळेस पाऊस पडायला नको, त्याच वेळेस पाऊस पडतो, आणि आलेलं हातातोंडाशी आलेलं पीक हे निघून जातं. सो ड्युरिंग द हार्वेस्टिंग वेअर रेन is not expected, if it rains heavily at that time, the complete crop or complete harvesting season is gone or lost, and only because of that the food is not available in the quantity that is required, and because of that, of course, the inflation takes place and economic losses take place. So we all have all these, I mean, these consequences. If you want to avoid, we have to do something about it. Human health. Global warming is linked to an increase in heat related illnesses. Whatever heat related diseases are there, we get affected by the respiratory problems like asthma and all. श्वासोश्वासाशी रिलेटेड जे काही प्रॉब्लेम समस्या आहेत त्या ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंगशी लिंक्ड आहेत. बिकॉज ऑफ द ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग, द डिझिजेस दे स्प्रेड, they keep on spreading, they cannot be halted, and only because of that, obviously, the humanity may be extinct one day. Economic impact. Global warming is projected to have significant economic impacts, including damage to infrastructure, increased healthcare cost, and loss of productivity. See, loss of productivity because of global warming, there is complete drought. So, where will you get the food? Where will you get the water from? If there is no crop, if the agriculture or the farming is affected, obviously it's a complete loss. Second thing, because of the flooding and because of the drought or because of the heat wave, the artificial infrastructure, maybe industries, maybe huge buildings, they get affected, they fall, they get destroyed. Besides that, the people, they get affected by so many diseases. So obviously the money that is spent on our health, that also increases, so that cost also increases. So these are the economic impacts of global warming. Social impact: because of global warming, migration, displacement and conflict of the people over resources that take place. जसं की ज्या ठिकाणी काहीही रिसोर्सेस नाहीये त्या ठिकाणी लोक राहतच नाही, ते दुसरीकडे जाणार. पाणीच नाहीये तर कुठे राहणार आहेत, काय पिणार आहेत लोक? म्हणून ज्या ठिकाणी पाणी आहे त्या ठिकाणी लोक मायग्रेट करतात, तिथे स्थलांतर करतात. लोकांना आपलं घरदार सोडावं लागतं, डिस्प्लेसमेंट व्हावी लागते, आणि ज्या काही अवेलेबल रिसोर्सेस आहेत ते मिळवण्यासाठी मग भांडणं सुरू होतात. जसं की जस्ट इमॅजिन करा की 1 लिटर पाणी आणि पिणारे जर 10 लोक आहेत, तर ऑब्व्हियसली त्या 1 लिटर पाण्यासाठी लोक एकमेकांचे खूनही करतील. सो दिस इज वॉट द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट दॅट इज हॅपनिंग, अँड देर आर सो मेनी स्टेट्स दे आर सिम्पली फायटिंग ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ द वॉटर. आपल्याला माहिती आहे की एखाद्या धरणाचं पाणी मिळवण्यासाठी एक राज्य दुसऱ्या राज्याला ते पाणी देत नाही आणि भांडणं होत आहेत. सो पॉईंट इज, बिकॉज ऑफ ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग, इफ there is no rain, if there are only droughts, so though there won't be food, there won't be water, and if there won't be food and water, obviously we will be displaced, we will migrate to the places where all these resources like water and food available. Forget about your buildings, forget about your flats, forget about your industry that might cost you in crores, but you have to migrate to the places wherever food and water is available. And social impact is one of the major consequences of global warming. Environmental impacts: of course, global warming is leading to environmental impacts, including the loss of ecosystem, biodiversity and natural resources. As I said, no water, no food, so no biodiversity, no animals, no humans will survive, and complete food chain or the ecosystem will be disturbed. And it has been disturbed. Nowadays we can see the consequences. Every day you just open the newspaper and you will see that there is something happening only because of global warming and climate change. So, what are the solutions? Transition to renewable energy. Renewable energy like solar and wind power. Such renewable energy sources, if we adopt, definitely it will not affect the environment, and it will give us continuous 24 by 7 energy without any fossil fuel, without any combustion, without any greenhouse gases. So we should go and shift or transit from traditional energy resources to these renewable energy resources like solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, hydro energy, and rest of the energies, maybe the nuclear energy, that is possible. Energy efficiency: so whatever electric equipments that we are using, the appliances we are using in industry as well as in household, if all these appliances and the industry machinery is completely efficient within less amount of energy, if they function a lot, if we shift to such kind of machinery, such kind of appliances, obviously the energy will be saved, and in a way it will help to reduce or mitigate global warming. Then comes electrification of transportation. Automobile industry is one of the biggest reasons of releasing carbon dioxide and rest of the greenhouse gases. And if we switch to all electric vehicles, which is now the people are getting aware and the people are just buying for the electric vehicles, but 100% if all the vehicles are electric, we all the vehicles are using electricity, obviously that will reduce global warming in tremendous manner. Because in India, wherein 150 crore people are there, so if hardly 20% of them are having cars and big trucks and all, and if they switch to electric vehicle, definitely it will create a great impact. So that is one of the solutions: electrification of transportation. Carbon capture and storage: we have to develop whatever in industry, whatever carbon dioxide that is created, it should be captured and it should be stored somewhere under the ground, from where it is not released in the atmosphere, where from where it can be reused. So if we adopt for such technology, definitely it will help to curb the problem or the nuances of global warming. Then comes sustainable land use. Implement sustainable land use practices such as reforestation, agroforestry sequester means can mitigate, can decrease carbon dioxide and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So if we are using reforestations wherever there is a barren land, if we make sure that water is available perennially over there, and if the trees are planted, once they are planted and taken care for maybe for 2-3 years, definitely they will keep on growing. And because of this reforestation, by default whatever carbon dioxide that is being released by other activities of humans, it will be absorbed by those trees, and it will help to go for the sustainable development. Because we cannot stop industry, we cannot stop using electric appliances, we cannot stop using automobiles. And if we switch if we switch to renewable energy sources like wind energy and solar energy and nuclear energy, and if we go for reforestation, if we plant more trees, definitely it will help us to curb the problem of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. Even agroforestry is also one of the answers or the solutions. Agroforestry means you have to plant the trees, because we cut the trees in order to make proper land for agriculture. But instead of that, if we plant good trees that bear fruits and uh, other business like fruits and different parts of it can be sold in the market. So if we plant such trees, definitely it will help us, definitely it will help us. So besides the trees, we will get the production and we will sell it. So in a way, we are doing the agriculture also, as well as the forest is being planted over there, the trees are being planted over there, and the trees, as usual, they will bear the fruits, as well as they will also curb the problem of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. So this is also another solution. Climate resilient infrastructure, so we should come up with such buildings, such industry buildings wherein the roofs are green, wherein the walls are also green, the sea walls are also green, because of which the heat can be absorbed in the roof itself or in the wall itself, and the building or the people in the building will be saved. They will not feel the heat of it. And if we don't feel the heat, of course we will not switch to coolers and air conditions, and because of that, the release of greenhouse gases will be stopped. So it would be better if we switch to the green roofs as well as sea walls. Such technology is available and the people are adopting, but the proportion of people, those who are adopting green roofs and sea walls, it is limited, and that's why if we increase it, it can be one of the major solutions to global warming. International cooperations, see, if only India starts doing all this sustainable energy, green roofs and sea walls, and takes all the measures accepted, that we will help to decrease global warming. But the other countries, if they do not follow the same steps, they will keep on increasing the temperature of globe, and because of that, whatever efforts one country has taken, they will be zero. So instead of that, all the countries, they should come up with like Paris Agreement. More than 196 countries, they have signed this agreement, and they have pledged that we will decrease the temperature, or we will not allow it to increase more than 1.5 degrees Celsius. And this is the Paris Agreement that they all adhere to, they all follow to. And if such cooperation is taken, definitely globally it will help all of us to mitigate the problem of global warming. Reduce energy consumptions. What we do in mostly in metro cities, if the electricity is available, we simply switch on the electric appliances. Instead of that, if we are turning them off whenever we don't need them, that will save the energy. We should come up with energy efficient appliances, the tube lights and all. If that helps, definitely we will conserve or we will save the energy, and in a way it will help to mitigate the problem of global warming. So this is how we have to, and we have to insulate our homes. Insulate our homes means what? Whenever there is winter season, our house will be warmer if we are using insulators. Whenever there is summer season, the heat will be captured in that insulation, and we will not be affected by the heat. This is how we can save our energy, this is how we can save our electricity. And if the electricity is saved, obviously the fossil fuels that are used to generate electricity, they will be saved. And if less fossil fuel is combusted, less fossil fuel is burnt, less amount of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases will be released, and in a way it will save us from global warming. Use public transportation. Nowadays the people, if they have money, they simply switch on to two wheeler and three wheeler and four wheeler. Instead of that, if the public transportation is good, electric public transportation is available, easily available at cheaper rate, it is available, why not opt for it? Why do you want to flaunt your car? It is better you switch to public transportation, because it has the capacity to carry more number of people. 4 5 people can travel in one car, so carpooling can also be one of the options. Instead of taking 5 cars to the office, if 5 people can share, or 7 people can share one car, that is also one of the solutions. Eat a plant-based diet. If we keep on eating non-vegetarian food, definitely it will keep on releasing the methane in the atmosphere. It will definitely burden the agriculture, because in order to produce, or in order to build one goat or one cow, or maybe one buffalo, or maybe one ox, or maybe one hen, it requires a lot of plant-based food, and these animals keep on eating all these plant-based vegetations, and in a way they keep on increasing the burden on agriculture. And their manure, their dung, once it is decomposed, it also releases methane that adds in greenhouse gases. So if we eat only plant-based diet, that will be helpful for all of us. Conserve water, we have to save water. Whatever your running taps are there, you have to make sure that you use them whenever, whatever, I mean, the quantity of water, whatever quantity of water you need, if you use only that much, that will save water. It may be your showering, it may be your drinking water, it may be your washing your car. This will definitely help. And whatever taps that are leaking, maybe the water tank that is leaking, you should make sure that the leakage is taken care of within no time. So that will definitely help to conserve water. Reduce waste. Instead of just throwing the plastics, instead of just using the single plastic, it is better that we should use some material that can be recycled, that can be decomposed easily. If we avoid using single use plastics, and if we avoid reducing, if we avoid increasing the waste, definitely it will help us. Support renewable energy. We all have to support the renewable energy, like wind energy and solar energy. We have to take initiative. We should not come up with the doubts that no, what will happen if there is no sun, what will happen if there is no wind. We have to come up with some advanced equipment that can generate electricity, solar power or wind power. We have to support it. Get involved. Whatever program that is going on, whatever activity that is going on, in order to reduce global warming, we have to volunteer, we have to take part, and we should initiate from our side that we are committed to save energy, we are committed to conserve water, we are committed to reduce waste, we are committed not to release greenhouse gases, we are committed to green roofs, we are committed to insulated houses, we are committed to sea walls. We have to take pledge and we have to get involved, because it is our battle and we all have to fight it. It's not just the government that is supposed to work. Temperature increase is one of the global warming facts. 1 degree Celsius has increased. Sea level has increased by 15 to 20 centimeters since 900, and it may increase by 26 to 80, 82 centimeter by 2030, 2050. If it increases, definitely the people around the coastal area will be affected permanently. Extreme weather conditions like heat wave, droughts and heavy rainfall, we have been experiencing it. You just open the newspaper and you will realize that somewhere in one corner of the whole globe, somewhere there is a problem of heat wave, drought or heavy rainfall, or maybe cyclone. Loss of Arctic ice. This is very important. The Arctic ice cap has lost about 75% of thickness since 1980. And if the whole ice that is available on the mountains or maybe in the ground, if it melts, definitely the sea level will increase and it will affect the whole life of humans. According to one survey, 75,000 tons of water is getting melted out of the sea that is available in frozen form. And if this continues per second, it is getting melted and it is getting released in rivers, and by default it is going to the sea or the ocean. So we have to make sure that this Arctic ice is not lost, and if it lost the way it is being lost up to 1980, definitely we have to face the bad consequences of it. Glacier retreats, glaciers, they have all the ice cover, and they are retreating, means they are vanishing day by day, because there is no snow as such, there is no snowfall. And why there is no snowfall? Because it's a global warming, and because of global warming, whatever glaciers that are available right now, their mass is getting changed into water, and once it is getting into water, it simply flows down to oceans or rivers. Ocean acidification, this is another major fact, or the bad consequences of global warming. The oceans have become 30% more acidic since the industrial revolution, due to absorption of all this carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and all these greenhouse gases, and the industrial waste. And because of it, obviously the sea life, the marine life is getting affected, and whatever fish you are eating, obviously in a way you are eating the same acidic food which is available in our oceans and rivers and all water bodies. Coral bleaching. Rising sea temperature has caused widespread coral bleaching with up to 90% of world's coral reef affected. And in a way, because of this coral bleaching, we get affected directly or indirectly, but we don't realize it. Increased diseases. Global warming is linked to an increase in the spread of disease as warmer temperature allow disease carrying insects to thrive. Whatever insect that create the diseases that make us infected by the disease, because of the warm temperature, they simply thrive, they progress, and once these insects progress, we humans get affected. And if we get affected, of course our health cost increases, our lives are lost. Food insecurity, people are not getting proper food. Proper food means they are not getting balanced diet, they are not getting good food because of the inflated rate, because less crop, because of global warming, the availability of food is less, obviously the cost will increase and it will affect our economy. Economic impact, as I said, infrastructure is lost because of the flood and all, because of the cyclone and all. Because of that, the diseases get spread, so our healthcare cost increases, the productivity decreases, because there is no crop, though no water, drought is there. So how do you expect the farmers to do their farming and produce something? Human migration, people get displaced wherever there are no resources, there is no water, there is no food, there is no work, obviously people switch to the places wherever there is availability of water and food and some work, some job. As you can see in Mumbai, it is overflowing now. Biodiversity loss, obviously the animals, the vegetation is lost because of the climate change. As it doesn't rain whenever it is expected to rain, it does, we don't experience the winter whenever we are supposed to experience the winter. And because of that, the animals, the insects, the birds, they get affected, they either die or they simply migrate. And because of that, the whole food chain is disturbed, biodiversity gets disturbed. Water scarcity, increased risk of wildfire. Now what is this increased risk of? Because of the dry and hot weather, it's a conducive climate for the fire. And because of that, the huge wildfires that are available, you must have read about wildfires globally that are happening. And because of these wildfires, all our flora and fauna gets lost. And if flora and fauna of any place is getting lost, the humans get affected. Thawing of for permafrost. Now what is this thawing of permafrost? Thawing of permafrost means the underground, the ice remains frozen for more than 2 years, and if it remains frozen over there, it releases the methane, a potent greenhouse gas, into the atmosphere. And because of that, the ozone layer gets depleted, and by default the ultraviolet rays of sun, they keep on increasing the temperature of this planet. And moreover, whatever heat that is generated, it gets captured within the atmosphere, it doesn't get released in space. That is what we learned in the initial slides of this session. Rising insurance cost, of course, because of global warming, there are increasing insurance cost for the company who are providing the insurance and the people who are taking those insurance, because frequently we get affected by the natural disasters like flood, like cyclone, like drought and all. And obviously whenever we lose something, we go and apply for insurance, and the insurance company has to pay our loss. And because of that, of course, the installments of the insurance has also increased, and the cost that the insurance companies have to bear because of these natural disasters, it is going in increasing, or it is increasing. Impact on mental health, because of global warming we experience mental stress, anxiety, trauma, because of the loss, because there is a food scarcity, there is food insecurity, water availability is not there, and things are getting costlier. And because of that, the stress, anxiety and trauma increases, and it affects our mental health. Disruption of food chains, global warming is disrupting food chains, as changes in temperature and precipitation pattern affects the distribution of abundance of species. As I said, there is no water, there is no rain, so whatever species that are available at one particular places, they get displaced or maybe they die. And because of that, the whole food chain is getting disturbed. To quote one example, if there are no honeybees, the pollination of the flowers will not take place, and if there is no pollination of the flowers, there won't be any food. So this is how the food chain is getting disturbed, because one particular bird or maybe insect that is getting affected, which is part of a food chain, once it is getting affected, the food chain is broken, and if the food chain is broken, all the dependent animals and birds and insect, they get affected because there is no food, there is no water. Increase the risk of flood because of this global warming. At one place, huge or maybe extreme weather conditions, and because of these extreme weather conditions, the downpour is increasing, and if the downpour is increasing, it results in floods, and it simply takes away all the infrastructure that we have created. It may be our agriculture, it may be our housing, it may be our industry. And now there is urgent need for action. Global warming is pressing issue that requires urgent attention as the window for mitigating its effect is rapidly closing. हम लोगों को लगता है कि हम लोग कल करेंगे, परसों करेंगे, लेकिन टाइम ही नहीं है. जितना आप डिले करेंगे उतना ये प्रॉब्लम बढ़ेगा, और अभी इतने हद तक बढ़ गया है कि हम लोग उसको अभी कम नहीं कर सकते. हमें उसके कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस फेस करने ही होंगे, लेकिन अभी भी थोड़ा बहुत रे ऑफ होप है. इफ एवरी इंडिविजुअल टेक्स द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, डेफिनेटली द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एंड क्लाइमेट चेंज may be decreased. And if all the generations or all the people that are available on the planet, if they take it as a priority, definitely we can make a visible difference. Otherwise we will be nowhere, we will be a history. Now, I have quoted some recent natural disasters over here. You can simply see over there. In last year, 2024, we experienced 29 degrees Celsius. More than 110 people they died because related to heat, because of the heat wave. And sometimes it is also some people say that the number of 110 death is less. It is not the real number. There are so many people they have died. Assam and Manipur faced intense rainfall and floods that triggered Cyclone Remal, which caused three deaths and left thousands of people homeless. There is this destruction. The floods in the Imphal Valley were so severe that they breached the Nambul and Imphal River embankments, causing widespread destruction. The combined death toll from floods in Assam and Manipur stood 48 people, and with over a million people affected. In another incidents in Wayanad, killing 308. It's a recent phenomenon, recent accident that took place because of the landslide. More than 308 people died, and more than 10,000 people they were displaced. The point is still being discussed and talked. In 2020, cyclone Amphan, which struck West Bengal, Odisha, and Bangladesh, was one of the worst in recent history, causing widespread destruction and killing over 128 people. In Maharashtra, also the flood occurred in 2021. 251 people they died over there, and thousands of the people were missing. Unseasonal rains in 2019, which damaged crops across the state, affecting approximately 103.52 lakh farmers and resulting in total area of crop damage 94.53 lakh hectares. You can't imagine these figures. The Indian Meteorological Department has warned that the country can expect more frequent and severe heat waves, droughts, and floods in the coming years due to climate change. The department has also predicted that the monsoon season will become more unpredictable and more frequent and intense rainfall events. So this is a warning, and that's why it is written in red ink. We all must take care of it. So acid rain, this I will discuss in lecture number 3. So up to this, I think I could make some difference in you and your thinking. ह्याच्या व्यतिरिक्त जर का तुम्हाला काही प्रॉब्लेम असेल तर तुम्ही कमेंट बॉक्समध्ये कमेंट करू शकता. गुड लक, कीप लर्निंग.